Okay, here we go. So we have our to-do list here. So if you join, it's working. Yeah, good. Right. Yeah. So if you were with me earlier today, we were. Well, no one was with me earlier today, but we've got to do a bunch of things, and I'm gonna start with just trying to smash through this list. At least get the easy ones off the list. So the chain effect. So what we have is we have a chain effect for, where is it? Prefabs, effects, and then we have our chain lightning. That's called our chain effect placeholder. Never mind. I guess we'll just change that. Chain lightning effect. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to, what I want to do is open that in Piskel and change that so it looks like chains. So we go sprites, effects, no, chain, magic effects, chain lightning chain, and I'm going to save this as chain. Chain. That should be fine. And yeah, magic effects, and that's what that's called. Okay, so we have our dimensions, and I'm also going to open another one, which is our chain effect. So just our chain. How many times can I say chain today? We've got weapons, black weapons, and somewhere in here we've got our chain, and I just want to mimic that. So, and then we'll see how it looks and see if we have to change up the dimensions. I'm pressing S. There we go. Yes, it's not just me. Sometimes it just doesn't register. Okay, so we'll get one chain and pop it in here. Can we do that? Oh, wait, I'm sure I've done this before. So copy, paste. Hello? Copy, paste. I thought I could copy paste that. I'm pretty sure I thought I could copy paste that. All right, never mind. We can just replicate it. So this is, we go in black, 1, 2, and then we skip 2, and then we go 3, 4, and then this is 4 high. So 1, 3, 4, and this is that 4 high? Yeah, that is 4 high. And then we go like this. Yep. I mean, I could just draw it again from scratch, but I think it's nice to have it look the same. And then we go like this, and we will end up with, I guess actually it should be just start going straight up from here. Yeah. Okay. And then we want that color, which I think is this one. Over here. And that's rather large, but I guess let's see how this works. We need to see how it looks in the scene. So if I take this and then copy it over here, and yeah, I think that's going to look fine. Maybe there should be some kind of underlap. So how would I make that effect come across? No, that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. So it would be more like, would it just be like this is black? No, I think the way we have it is fine. So like that, and finally like that, and that fits nicely. And that's it. It's really simple. This is just, you know, and we'll see how it looks in the scene. But that is that. So we go down and we go to sprites, magic effects, chain. Lovely naming conventions. All right. And then I'm going to take my chain lightning and call this chain effect. And we're going to get our sprite over here. Chain. And do our bits. So we go single, sprite 2D and UI, 32 bit, and no filter. Apply. And if we're looking at this one, where is the pivot? The pivot's in the center. That's fine. And okay, so that should be that then. And this sprite would be our chain. So there's the chain. Okay, and that should do it. Okay, and then we have in GM in weapons. So on chain lightning, so this would be green, chain lightning effect, and chain effect hit. No, not the chain effect hit, chain lightning chain effect. So we go chain effect. Is chain a tier 2 weapon? It is. Okay. Chain effect. Okay, so I need to go in 2 weapons. And I go chain lightning. Really? Oh, chain lightning. And see how this works. So chain effect, we need to make sure we have that. So let's go down to chain. Really? Where is it then? Weapons, lantern, sickle, mace, chain. Chains. Okay. And yeah, we don't actually have this here, so we go just somewhere in here. Chain effect equals, and at the top. So I'll just do a little squiggle here just to keep my spot on the script. Not the best way to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. And we go chains, and just looking at chain lightning. Yeah, so we need a chain lightning chain effect. So we have the effect and then we have the chain effect. Chains, chain effect. And then we go back down here and chains, chain effect. Okay, and then we go, I'm just going to take off my jumper because it's hot. And that will be that done. So go and grab that. Changes. Time to face the strange changes. Okay. And I guess we need to do sound, but I want to do sound all together. Like, yeah, like a rattling chain. That shouldn't be too hard to find, right? Okay. Oh, this should be smash. What did we use for... What did we use for... Morning Star? Okay, yeah, floor cracks. I think that might be a bit epic. So where's hammer? Or club. Smash effect. Yeah. I thought I was looking for smash. Hello? Okay. I have to find it manually then. It's a bit weird that, but I've seen it before. Smash effect. There you are. Okay. And then probably the same again as we have for the hammer. So heavy whoosh. Heavy whoosh. Oh, my son's crying and my wife's sleeping, so I have to go check what that is. Be right back. What's wrong, Cyrus? Apologies for that. Okay. I need to close the door again. Okay. Yeah, in theory that should work. And what was I doing? I wanted mace. Heavy whoosh. There we are. Sickle sound. I think it's got to be a slash effect, right? Oh, no, that's a projectile, so I need to make that projectile, so that's one thing. And then let's do the same that we have for throwing daggers. Throwing daggers. Throwing daggers should be here. Yeah. So it's called throwing daggers, okay? That's good. Getting some of these sound effects out of the way. Lantern sound, stuff, resurrection sound. Yeah, okay. Okay. Good. Yeah. There's going to be some like magical sound effect, some kind of bones rattling or something. Okay. Or some kind of ghoulish, spooky sound. Chain effect done. Obviously, when we get into testing it, as we start to play a game a lot, we'll be using all the abilities and we'll see if they're not working properly. So the lantern effect, that's another pretty straightforward one. So we want to find our ice beam. So we're going to copy this and we're going to call it lantern beam. just call it lantern. Okay, and just while we're here, this is getting quite a long list, isn't it? It's because we've just doubled it basically with the undead and the demons. So there's so many now. But the lantern effect. So here we are at lantern, and we were using ice beam, now we're using lantern. And so we want to go into our sprites, and I want to sort of save this, import our ice beam. Ice beam. Okay, and we're gonna save this as lantern. And essentially, yeah, it's going to be mostly the same. So have I copied? So I should have actually done this the other way around. So now I have to reopen sprites, weapons, black weapons, and we have our exact lantern effect color. So if I take this and if I add, and this is 138.224.190, and there we have our color for this. Wait, I'm losing it. Yep, here it is. So we take that and we make this that color. And then we want this one as well. So this color is 201.242.226. Let me just double check that. 201.242.226, yeah, and then we want to make that color. Okay, and I think the lines are fine, but I think it would be cooler if they were like skeletons, like some sort of soul faces. So I am going to go in and grab the middle and delete it, and then I'm gonna just draw some like scared faces, some soul faces. And then like we want like a smaller one. And then like I guess like an even smaller one. Yeah, this works, I think. We can have one more, and then I think this one actually. Oh no, S. Yeah. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing here, where it's just kind of jumbled up a bit. So. And we just want it to be like similar-ish. So let's take our big ones and let's make 3 this time. So just 1, 2, 3, just kind of placed randomly. And then the bigger one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's get our small one. And I think that's just a bit more exciting than the lines. It shouldn't be too difficult to change it back if we want to. And yeah, we'll just fill out these spaces. And there we go. I think that's quite nice. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just distracting. And then this can stay the same. But just like a nice detail, I hope. Okay. All right. And then so we export that into Lantern. So we are looking at magic effects, yeah. Hello.
It finished.
It finished. Do you need?
Put it on again for me.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay.
You were upstairs.
Yes, I was.
In the treasure chest.
Come here.
Yeah.
Look here.
Come.
Look here.
¿No te quieres acostar con mami un ratico?
No.
Que ven, yo te pongo la tele, vamos. Vamos.
Let me just check. Yeah, it's in the middle.
Ok, yo te pongo la tele, vamos.
Need to. Wife's having a nap. And I think it's good for her to have a little bit of a nap. And Cyrus can watch a bit of TV, I'm afraid. Because we don't really have help with the childcare. So we have to make do with what we've got. And sometimes we have to just pop him in front of a telly to become a zombie for a bit. Not proud of it, but that's what we have. Alright, so then we take our... So this is why I hate doing this, because it's so fiddly and like all over the place. But so then we take our effects. We've made our lantern effect. And we go animation. And yeah, so we just need to kind of copy this basically. So we go, so we'll create a new animation. So we want, yeah, so I feel like we just delete this and then create a new one. And we're going back to animations, magic effects, lantern. And I did kind of actually just want to copy the keyframes. So let's go back to Ice Beam. We go animation. And can I just, yeah, I think I can copy these in here just so I've got the stamps, you know. And then back into the lantern and animation. And there it is. And then so that's just going to look like the Ice Beam, but we're going to change it. So we go, we grab our sprite renderer. And we go lantern 0. Lantern 0. Lantern 1. Lantern 2. And then copy and paste that. Hello? Oh, for God's sake, I wasn't bloody recording. Okay, lantern 0 once again. Lantern 0. Lantern 2. So I mean, I could have done something where like we just had like you could stack this a bit easier, but because it's only going to come up like at the moment it's only twice, but it's only going to come up like 4 or 5 times maximum. I don't think I need to like create like a system and then it goes back to the small one, lantern 0. So then we have this effect. Pew, pew. That might just be a bit noisy. Let's see how that feels. What we could do is so we go in, in. We could just stretch it, right? So we take this part and we stretch it until it's every 4 frames. like that, and then we can just cut off the second half, except for that one. So it's a bit less jarring, maybe. Let's see how we feel. Let's see how we feel. Okay, good. That's that. And in theory, I think I do need to go into the effect and the animator and have a look at that and say, I mean, it is play on motion. Is it loop though? I don't think it's loop. Yeah, it's not looped. Okay, that's that. So that should be the lantern effect. And that's another one off the list. Good, good. What fun we're having. Okay. And then this is another fairly easy one where we've got our fire sword effect, but we want an ice greave effect and our skag nazg effect. And this is very simple. We are just going to, so first we'll take Skagnazg. Is it called Lightning Blade still? Did I not? Interesting. I thought I'd changed the name. Okay, so Lightning Blade is actually named Skagnazg. Okay, we will work with that just to avoid having to like click and drag stuff. And Ice Greave, and so yeah, okay, interesting. So easy to find these ones. It's at the top of tier 2, and we do, yeah, at the moment it's got chain lightning effect. No, I think it should be more of a sword and not be a chain lightning effect. We can maybe add that, but I think, oh no, let's not. So lightning blade effect is that. Yeah, let's see how that ends up looking. That's going to be a bit wild. All right, and then down to Ice Greave, tier 1, tier 2, Ice Greave, and it's currently using the fire sword effect, and we're going to want some like heavy whoosh, or like, no, we want some kind of frosty sound, so we'll keep that blank because we don't have one yet. Need to do a day where I just do all of the sound effects. So we go in here and we can just replace, so we make sure that's saved, and then we go weapon sprites, magic effects, fire sword effect, flame sword effect. Oh, it is just using /1. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's easier then. So we just need to change the color within that. So that's easier. That's nice. Okay, good. So we want to get this as close as possible, but I do want it up for reference. So let's go back to. Might as well just take our ice beam again. Ice beam. And that is in fact our official frost color. And so we want to just color this until it looks like that. So I'm going to pop that on my second screen and just make it as close as possible. So get this nice sort of blue color, almost paler, and I think, yeah, a bit paler. And to be honest, I think that's fine. I'm not going to spend forever doing that. And then our Skagnazg effect would be our lightning, which I can kind of just see from over here. I know it's not the ideal, but we go yellow with it. We go paler, almost bright pale. Yeah, very pale yellow. There we go. And okay, that's done. That's done. Nice and easy one. Nice and easy one. Sickle projectile. So we need to make a projectile. We go prefabs, effects, projectiles, and we'll take boomerang as a base, and we'll change that for sickle. And we just want to go in and find black weapons until we get to our sickle. There it is. Okay. And that's that. It's really as simple as that. Pivots in the middle and do sickle, and sickle 4. Just because I think it's a nice touch, it's a nice detail, it doesn't take too much effort just to use the upgraded versions like this. And that's cool. Okay. Is that the last one? Yeah, it is. Okay. And there we have, let me just double check, sickle. And it's a ranged attack. And so it understands that that's a ranged attack. Very good. Okay. And so then we go into GM. We find our sickle. So that would be a tier 2 black weapon, sickle. Okay, yeah, so it's not, so we need to enter in each one manually. So let's go into weapons and up to sickle over here, and we do actually want sickle 2 effect, sickle 3 effect, sickle 4 effect. We used to call it mega, but we changed that. That was the AI helping me, and it said, yeah, let's call it mega. But actually, I think the Roman numeral 4 is much cooler. Okay, so then we go back down over here, and we are not using. So we go sickle 2 effect, sickle 3 effect, sickle 4 effect. No, sickle 4 effect. Because the arrows from the bows, they're all the same. It's the bow that upgrades, but in this, it's like a thrown weapon. The weapon itself that is thrown needs to look different. So we take back down to sickle. Very good. Sickle projectile, done. Again, we're going to test this and we're going to run into all kinds of issues. But okay, Staff of Resurrection effect. So I think for now, we can go harder later. But, we don't want the screen to get too messy. I think we are fine just having the same effect that we have for heal, but with a different color. So have I done the color on this right here? No, I haven't. So I'm going to want to, so we'll save this, and I want to import, wait, what am I doing? Heal. Yeah, so I want, let's just make a new one, and I want to import the heal effect. And I'm going to save as, and call this resurrect effect. And we want to use, it's very simple, we just want to use these colors. So get my dark green with all of these, and my light green with these. Looks good. Okay, export that. Yeah, we're in the right place. Obviously, this folder's getting very crowded, but it's only me that has to suffer if it doesn't look great. And if it's slightly difficult to navigate, like I'm not worried about navigation right now. I just want to get the whole thing working. Okay. Prefabs, effects, heal, and let's do resurrect. And resurrect is now one of the words that I know how to spell. Okay, yeah, we're not using the point lights anymore because it just added needless.
No, papá está trabajando, yo estoy durmiendo. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué quieres?
Oh, poor boy.
Entonces no hay más tele. Cyrus, no te lo puedo cambiar. No te lo voy a cambiar.
Okay, so we want to
Ponte a jugar con tu juguete.
get rid of
¿Quieres tu juguete?
animator, create it again. I just find this the easiest way just to set it up properly without ending up animating like different parts or like overlapping. And we go prefabs, effects. Yeah, it would go in here. Okay. Oh no, animation. Magic effects, resurrect. And I'm going to copy in these. And then this time I'm going to remember. Oh, and we need to take our newly made resurrect effect. 2D. You see how this is really, you see why I put this off? Because it's just like, it's not particularly inspiring work. It's not particularly easy work. I need to use my brain. I need to be focused, but it's not very fun. Okay, so then once again, animation, and we're still animating. That's good. And we grab our sprite renderer, and we go resurrect. Resurrect 1, resurrect 2, resurrect 3, and then presumably to nothing. Yeah, good. Okay, and then at least, so let's say I completely changed the way that looked and kind of did a bit more like maybe a floating skull effect or something like that. At least I've now got the prefab made, right? So I could change it however I like, but like at this stage, what I'm trying to do is just create placeholders, and I'm just getting the placeholders close enough so I don't have to completely redo them, but not worrying too much about the effect. Okay, so dash effect. So he's going to dash, and it's going to leave an effect, and the horseman's going to do a big slash effect, and Archibald's going to do a buff sprite. And let's do an easy one first. So we go into any character. Let's get Basma. It should be fun. Oh, what? Did I not do these? I thought I did these. Yeah, Crow, Lure. Oh, okay, I didn't do these. Okay, so let's do that. Forgot to do this. So we go black. Oh no, heroes. Dark. Oh, Basma. Wait. Heroes. Just this tedious stuff that needs doing. I'm just going to do a quick. Yeah. Because I know I made this mistake a couple times at least, and well, once. Horseless headman, not the headless horseman. Okay, And we're back on Basma, and we want to do something similar to the frost, like when characters frosted, they go a bit blue. So we want to do something where, so we go, let's take frost and call it, oh wait, no, we want to make sure we're in the prefab. And we take frost and we call it charmed. And we switch it on and we change the color to pink. Yeah, perfect pink. That's purple, isn't it? Pink over here. That's more pink, so 0.5. Nice bold. Right. Boring colors. Okay, yeah, and that means someone's charmed. I could do a little heart effect, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay, that was actually way less painful than I thought it would be. It's just I hate jumping around between bits. So charmed debuff effect done, and that's already programmed in. And so we need the visual AoE effect for the ultimates. I think I'm going to want to see it happen a couple times first, so I'm going to put a pin in these. Let's do unholy artifacts, just knocking shit off the list. That's like starting with the easy things, kind of like eating my way, you know, like doing a puzzle. You start with the corners. I know that we need unholy artifacts, so I'm going to do the easy parts. So we go artifacts. And I'm going to take critical as a baseline. And we go on player crit, no, on resurrect. Public sprite. And what do we call this? Like grave summon. Grave? Resurrect, mortificus, yeah, let's call it grave, because grave can be an adjective, can't it? Grave summon. So every time you revive someone, you can summon someone. That seems a bit redundant, but okay. Grave heal. And then holy crit. I think we changed that. So it was like there was one to heal yourself, and then yeah. Grave. Resurrect. Like this seems a bit odd, but it's like a strong resurrect. Let's just call it great. We can change the name later. Grave buff. Grave mana. Grave reset. Grave rain. Okay, and we might not use all of those. Okay, and then I take critical and just collapse all of these. Lots and lots of artifacts. I wonder at some point if we should change it to like have more interesting names rather than kind of this paint by numbers thing. But so we go critical, and I can kind of go through here and just go change critical to grave in each case. Grave summon. So 1% chance to summon a random ally on resurrect. And then, yeah, I'm going to need to do something else on these. So on crit becomes resurrect. Good crit becomes grave resurrect. Very silly name, but I'm not thinking about naming right now. I'm just thinking about getting chance to double the And what would it be? Like, let's just go with 25% chance to resurrect at double strength. Double chance for hero. Is that how we say it? Double chance for hero, yeah. And grave buff, grave mana, grave reset. And okay. On resurrect. On resurrect. On resurrect. And never mind about the chances for now, like the balancing. The next thing I need to do is put that in. So when we raise undead, here we have it. And we don't store who did it here. So we kind of need to store who the reviver is. Character caster. Okay. And then we say if caster team is equal to team 0, so if they are on the player's team, proc artifacts, we'll call it grave artifacts, and then we want to do critical, so then we have our place for like critical heal, and we're going to take all of these, just copy and paste them over here. For God's sake. And once again, we want to change the word critical wherever we see it to grave. Delete that for now. We can always get it back if we want it. Like the rain thing, I'm just not too keen on. I liked it at first; it was very visual, but I don't know. It just didn't click too well, and also just unnecessarily heavy on optimization, I found. Okay, so grave summon, and over here we did the dice. Where did we do the dice? So we don't need the dice. Okay, so okay, yeah, let's just make float dice equals random dot rate. Okay, good. And then and so the answer is yeah, get child, spawn, so spawn an ally and make the item burst, and then we want caster and chance multiplier. Where does that come in? Good. And so grave summon, and what I want, and I know these numbers aren't going to be correct, but what I want is it just to match. So Grave Summon is a 1% chance. I think that's probably a bit low, but let's, yeah. Okay, well, if I've been copying from critical, it should match. Okay, and so we want to change caster, so damager. Yeah. Okay, this is different. So Grave Resurrect, and we have something about strength. Strength. Okay, so if it's strength equals 2, simple as that. Okay, we'll deal with those later. Well, let's deal with them now. Caster dot. And I wonder if the buff should actually apply to the thing that's been revived, or if that just kind of complicates things. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty straightforward. It needs balancing, but again, I just want to get it in there. Okay. Did I draw these? I don't think I did. So now that we have these other artifacts, so save this, import sprites, and it's just here, artifacts. Okay, so this is all of our artifacts, and we can have one that is for, okay, so I've left 3 spaces there because, yeah, so I reckon this one would look like a skull, wouldn't it? Like, let's not break the mold here. So it should be about that size, and it should be a skull. So let's go black. Have a smoother line there. Nothing crazy. I mean, I think there's... should it be more of like a uniform shape, I wonder? No, I think I can just draw like a fresh skull. I will use the circle tool here, though, for the eyes. We just want to keep this nice and simple. I think we have our off-white color here. Make it just a little bit less harsh, I think. Yeah. We want just a little bit of an off black here so we can do the nose. Maybe just a little bit of shading. No, I don't think we should have any shading. Okay, so that's our background, and that would be, and let's have a look at what the artifacts actually are. So we have, this is the easiest way to see it, Grave Summon. So this would be, so we take this, copy it in here. Okay, and I actually want to add them from the top, don't I? Yeah, it's weird. I can't remember how I plan to do it, but basically, if I get this wrong, I have to like rejig all of the sprites. It's really annoying because when you import a sprite like this, Unity will leave, and you make it larger than the one before, it will leave space at the top rather than the bottom, even if you're adding it to the bottom. So I kind of just want to add these to the top. So what I'll do, so I'll copy this, and I'll actually, delete. And what is it? It's, I need to find it in the game. Sprites, artifacts. So yeah, if I add, so we've got 3 slots there, but I want to add from the top. So 7 from the top. So we go. So yeah, I guess we make a new one. Can we do that from the top? I think, yeah, that'd be easier way to do it. Easier way to do it would be to duplicate this one, clear it, put that above, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here is where, oh lovely, and then we've got, how many do we actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've actually just got 6. Is that right? Summon, heal, resurrect, buff, mana, reset. Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll just keep that, and yeah, we'll rejig it as necessary. So then critical summon. So now we go to layer 1, layer 2 then, and we add. Okay, this is all in the wrong layer, so we'll just copy that, delete, and we actually want it in layer 1. Paste, 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 and then we want this on layer 2, and we go paste that, and so critical summon, critical heal. Is that our message? Well, how do we have it? Stoic. You know what? Let's just not break the mold here. Let's yeah, heal, and then, and again, I know it's not pretty, but I just want something there. I just want to have it done, you know, have something there that I can then edit. So resurrect explosion, no, I don't think that applies. Resurrect buff, grave buff, grave mana, and grave reset. We can always like fix these things later. Like, yeah, that doesn't look great, to be honest. So how would I mean, we could take this. What do we have for the holy ones? It's that halo. So we could just do like an evil looking halo, because this is like the inverse of the halo ones. Okay, and each artifact should have excluded factions. So can we see that, please? Yeah, how have we done that? Okay, so we make a list. All right, yeah, that works. And then yeah, so all the healing ones exclude the black beans, and this one should exclude human beans, green beans, and spicy beans. because these ones only apply to the undead. So this is what they get instead of the healing one. So we just go through each of them and do this. Just like really simple kind of monkey could do it stuff, but like needs doing. And it's just piled up, all of this. Okay. Okay, so we take this, and yeah, for now the skull is fine, but I probably will put that near the top of my list of things that need to be reconsidered. But it's okay. It's just, it's clear, it's obvious what it is, and it's different from the others. So now we export that and we make sure we're doing 7 columns, and we are sprites, artifacts, and go. And then what happens here is because I've added them to the top, it doesn't mess with my mojo, right? Because otherwise it would have just put them at the bottom and put empty space at the top. So this is great. So we take this and just paste it along. It needs doing. And you know, we might not even have like resurrect artifacts. But like, it's just on my list of things to do. I want to test them at least. And so we go GM, we go artifacts, and we make sure this is saved. And then we ask why hasn't it come up? So let's go near the top. Yeah, so this just hasn't come through, so we must have compile errors. Ah, yeah, because we did this, but we didn't. So yeah, the caster would be the owner of the weapon in this case. And in this case, because it's Basmo, again, it would be this. Me doing the casting. And I think I'll do the clicking and dragging here because it won't be too difficult. Easier to just see it visually. So we go sprites, artifacts, and we go near the bottom. Lovely. Grave summon. And again, we might change all of this. We might change all of these, but at least we know where the sprite goes, and we don't have to do this clicking and dragging again. We don't have to write it down again. Grave resurrect, grave heal, grave resurrect, grave buff, grave mana, grave reset, and we don't have a grave rain, so we'll leave that. Okay, looking good. Looking good. Okay, that's that done. I mean, we'll test it, but it should be that they'll come up when I'm playing as the undead, and if like, because there's going to be so much testing, like if I'm like, shit, hold on, where are, you know, if they're not there for some reason, I'll notice. Like all of this stuff is just stuff that I'll notice. Okay, weapon SFX. I think before I do this, so we've got ultimate effects. And then what does command do? Staff of command. And shouldn't that be superstar? Okay. So that should just work out the box. I don't know if we should have a visual effect of that for that. Generally, we don't for buffs because I think it ends up being visually noisy. Because you'd have, I mean, I guess for the staff of command it's okay because only the hero can have it. But I'm okay to leave that and just put it down to visuals. Yeah. Okay, good. So we need ultimate visual effects. We need special sound effects for all the new undead weapons. We need to test and fix each hero's ultimate. So I'm going to put that here above. And it's kind of like if this is working, we can update the builds. And we should do this as well. Okay, this is another one that I could potentially think about doing. And then let's do SFX for artifact explosions. So that is, that can go here. And I think this, if we're doing visual effects, we can do this for a bit. I basically want to say, we've got our like arrow dropping and it kind of goes, boo, it's just an arrow dropping. But I think it should be more like a white line followed by the arrow basically teleporting in. I need to think about that a little bit. Same with the meteors and the blizzard bits. And yeah, sound effect for the artifact explosions. Confirm. Okay, so should we try and see what happens when we hit play and try and actually play as the undead and just see how it goes and see what's broken, see what obvious things I've missed out, and what I'm expecting is that I've just kind of left some really stupid things out. Okay, so straight away, copy weapon. So why? Okay, because it's not actually going to be attached, I'm actually just going to copy it. Yeah, and then we can modify that there. Okay. Because it's not necessarily going to be the same. Like it might be something in between. It might behave a little bit differently than the actual chain lightning. I mean, it's a bit sad that all it does is a weapon attack. Let's like, so we can like boost the damage. I'm not going to use them this run, but yeah, it's like a super powerful chain lightning. That's kind of pretty useful from the beginning, I would think. So yeah, it's good. And like the debuff might last longer somehow. I don't know. Has it really just gone to the guy that I wanted to play as anyway? Why can't we play as Rowan? Why aren't any of these showing up? We'll find out. So if I go... I mean, I think I know why. I'm just unlocked equals false. Yeah, so all of these are not unlocked because we do not have them ready yet. And for some reason, Rowan is not unlocked. But I would like to play as Basma just to really... Okay, Staff of Resurrection. Why is that missing? I think I know why. So, in character select, we actually have weapons, weapons and upgrades. So I need to go into main. This is so like bad code basically. But the quickest way around this, rather than refactoring all of my code, is to just copy the component on, paste component values, and then again we go back to main game and we get upgrades, copy component back into character select. It's very, very fudgy and roundabout, but basically that means that it should have all of the sprites attached and the stats attached, and just in case well, just specifically for this, because we're asking for what is the sprite of the weapon that they have, and it's actually recorded somewhere else. Okay, yeah, so that's worked. And we can fight against the humans or the green beans. And can we play against the undead? So what if I picked Cruel? Can I play against? No. Okay. So enemy faction. So I have no idea what the code is here. So we go character select. Unlocked enemy factions and title screen.faction list. And locked. So we would make it locked equals false. And since we're going to be like testing this, let's just do it again here so that we don't have this problem again. Okay. Because I want to test playing against the undead as well. So yeah, of course, as expected, we've run into a few issues. I mean, you know, would have worked anyway. We could have gone ahead, but it's nice to find these things and fix them. And I'd say today's been pretty good. Like, I'm not feeling great about it. Like, anytime I'm not playing, anytime I can't actually, or choose not to play the stuff that I've made straight away, I always feel like I haven't done very much. It's only when I actually see it in the game. So Basma fighting against the green beans, but what if we were Rowan and we wanted to fight against the undead? No, why can't we do that? Is it because it's saved it? Like it's I think because it's saved which factions I've unlocked. No, I mean it should because it should be the same with the heroes. So why? So back to character select. Unlocked enemy factions. Each faction in title screen.faction list. What if I made a new game? And I won't delete the save file I have. I'll just move it to the desktop for a bit. And so if I went in with a fresh file, just testing if that's what the issue is. Oh. Okay, well that works. Okay, now we can choose, and we can choose Basma, or we can choose Dushatar, and we can play against the undead. Okay, that's good. So that does work. Okay. I think master volume. Well, you know what? I'm just going to put the save file back in. Yeah, I'm going to put the save file back in. And I guess fairly soon we'll do like a full playthrough, but this should be fine. I want to play as the undead against, say, the humans. And see how that goes. Right. More bugs? More stuttering? More messing around? No? Okay. We've still got this issue. So it's offering me to... So reroll artifacts. So this is on my list. I knew this was an issue. Artifact UI. Yeah, this is kind of... And it doesn't even work. So, okay, never mind. Let's just leave that. Big Pierce, buff heal. Chance to heal 5 on buff. Double chance for the hero. Okay, let's go with that and focus on a buff build. So we have zombies. Where are my zombies? Okay, so we've instantly found a problem. And let me guess. So we have enemy spawner. Okay, so what's going on here? Oh, this would be ally spawner. So, yeah, what's the issue? Ally spawner. This shouldn't need to have everything there. So let's see what happens. So we'll just go in again. Oh, hello. What now? Ah, it's because we're not on the right scene. Okay, so let's have a look at Basma. Basma does indeed have zombie there. And we can look at ally. Ally spawners. So we haven't spawned any ally spawners. So let's double check that this does work with the other characters. So we go in and we'll just play as Sean. Yeah. Let's check something else. So I think I want to know, really silly one, but I just want to know what the audio level was that I had. So it's one click off the bottom. Okay. So yeah, we will put this save file into the desktop. Oh, for God's sake, if this file might be harmful to my computer. Yeah, it's not harmful. Okay, and then straight away we'll go into that. Sure, it wasn't that quiet. Maybe I just turn my headphones down. This game's good. I like this game. Okay, so let's go out. So let's play as Rowan against the undead. Let's see how that goes. Let's see what spawns and what doesn't spawn. Okay, yeah, so we are just not spawning any enemies. Okay, that's what's happening. So, why is that happening? Why is that happening? Let's try this, just to help me probe the problem. So yeah, as I thought, massive fundamental problems. That's going to be something along the lines of me just being really stupid and forgetting something. So there's our encyclopedia, factions, black beans, allies, and it's empty. Factions, black beans, weapons, it's full. Okay, so what's happened there? So I'm going to look for the word soldier. Add to list. So this is enemy spawner. And of course we do have this for so it's like it's just spawning a null object. Let me try again. I just want to check if it like made the object pool. Ally container, enemy container is empty. So enemy container. And let's go to the first instance of that. And I think like upgrade. Okay, it's just taking a while to load there. Have I not filled them in here or something? Come on. Oh, no, we just don't have the prefabs. Okay, that's a bit silly. All right, some more lovely, lovely clicking and dragging to do. So we go main game, GM, and we got some lovely, lovely, lovely clicking and dragging to do. Okay. Right, let's get this show on the road then. Prefabs, black beans, skeleton, and I think if I select all of these, I won't have to constantly change. And okay, I've got a bunch of clicking and dragging to do. So thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm not going to do this on stream. It's too boring. I'm going to put on like a little podcast. It's going to take me like 20 minutes. And then I'm probably going to call it there for today because, you know, slight burnout. And so stick around tomorrow. I'll be pressing play and hopefully actually playing as the undead or playing against the undead, which should be really fun because it's been a lot of work. But actually, yeah, we do now have a new faction in the game, which is pretty huge. It's like a whole DLC. Obviously, it's just the game, but, you know, pretty momentous. So, yeah, thanks for watching if you've been watching. And I'll be on tomorrow at 9. Cheers.